Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I know, it has been a while, but I needed some time off and a vacation from the gaming space for just a bit. I am back just in time for the start of ALGS. That is right, the Apex Legends Global Series Pro League has just kicked off with Split 1, and all 5 regions played day 1 of their matches. Without making this intro too long, I just wanted to quickly say the channel will be focusing on ALGS moving forward, but you may see some gaming content from my personal gaming or some other esports I am casting as well. So please, make sure you subscribe to join me on this new journey. Alright, so when it comes to ALGS, the North America and EMEA, which is Europe, Middle East, and Africa region, get the most coverage, and for good reason. They are the 2 biggest regions, and they have the biggest names and superstars within them. Zephyr does a phenomenal job providing recap coverage for EMEA, and Genome has the APAC South region covered all by himself as well. Then, of course, South America is kept up to date with Pokies, Fair Play's production studio, and the rest of that LATAM community. So I thought, hey Blue, why not provide some coverage of APAC North? For those who probably don't watch those games, which are at like 4 a.m. So here we are. Plus, it is always a region that goes unnoticed a little too much, even though they put up a fight. Look at the World Championship, for example. Pulverex was a duo and almost made grand finals, finishing 25th. That is also the same Team Unite squad that finished 3rd at the LAN event before and still didn't get the respect heading into Worlds. So, without further ado, let's get into it. First, here's some things to look out for heading into Split 1. In day 1, of course, we saw Group A versus Group B, so let's talk about what we need to look at for those. In Group A, the standouts, of course, are Fnatic, who are led by the movement god himself, Yuka F, and, of course, Crazy Raccoon, who rebuilt their roster around All-Star Ross by signing Parka, formerly of Riddle, the #1 team in APAC North last season, and Drip from 4-7. Over in Group B, there's a couple more noticeable things you need to keep an eye on. Reignite rejoins Apex by signing the Key Esports and picking up Kurihara as their 3rd. Most of you will recognize Reignite, and for those of you who don't, it's the squad that was what is now known as Dark Zero, which is your world champion from the APAC South region, but they are now playing in North America. Then, of course, you have Voku, which is led by Obli, who was the leader of that #1 team, Riddle, last season, and was able to lead them to 1st in the APAC North playoffs. Karen P rejoins Obli, but with no Parka, they had to opt for a new player, and they got VODS. Orthros Fang is a Worlds team somehow after a somewhat disappointing year 2, and they'll be looking to rebound a lot better here in year 3. Fennel also returns with a new 3rd member as well. They were able to snag Legetta previously from that Pulverex / Team Unite squad that did so well at Worlds as a duo with Legetta, and of course at the LAN before that as well. All right, so let's get into it. Game number 1 started slow and almost as if everyone was walking on glass and didn't want to be the first one to make this mistake. But then, of course, once things got a little tighter, space-wise, everything started to get a little more hectic. The Game 1 ending was at the no-name of the bottom zipline building to the right of the wall, and Crazy Raccoon and Naked would hit double digits in kills at the end of this game. Lag Gaming was offered as a sacrifice, as they were unfortunately smashed between the 2 trigger-happy teams like a thick slab of melted chocolate in a s'more. Waiting patiently about a mile to the right behind the rock as if they are trying to avoid COVID in the game was Mushy King. And even with daylight savings, that 3rd party was executed on time, and they came out with a surprise victory. Game 2's endgame was at Fish Farm, but towards the mainland with the Prowler camp and not the one everyone loves where they hop around in the tanks like they are the fish being farmed for another Guy Fieri Flavor Town episode. 3 squads remaining and Mushy King is looking for back-to-back victories. Yeah, that's them, bunkered in the building watching the other teams throw down like they are your friend at a sleepover and your mom decides to scream at you for an hour. Voku, led by Obli, are running the jibby, and it pays off since Grow Gaming decide to grow a pair and push them, but that's when Mushy King decides to help out as well. Then, in a 1v1, Mushy King go for Newcastle revive, while Voku's last player, Vors, the new guy, walks around without being seen, similar to what happens to me when I walk into any room. That would be the last top 3 for Mushy King on the day, and Grow Gaming's best finish as well. Game 3 is finally where we see Detonation Gaming find success and do something other than attempting to loot the most POIs in one game ever. One Tappy is a huge superstar in APAC North, but when you watch this team play, it's like watching the Broncos as of late. The kitchen is on fire, and the cooking is not commencing. Anyway, we have a shipfall finished with Tappy and crew getting the most map-available coverage to work with while the zone tickles their back. Everything slows down for a moment and flashbacks of hotboxing my car in high school start to hit me, but we quickly realize it's just naked bang smoking to delay the demise once Detonation Gaming make the call to finish the game. Game 4. Well, Fennel stole one of the best players on one of the best teams in Legetta and have done absolutely nothing with him since. It's only day 1 though, so I won't get too critical. This was, however, their best finish. Fragment finish also means tons of cover. Psych! Every fragment endgame always finishes in the wide open somehow. This time we at least have the wall along the parking lot. WQ Taco were looking like Obi-Wan Kenobi with the high ground advantage, but shortly realized it meant zilch once the zone shoved them off into the fray like hens being fed to the wolves. And Reignite finally woke up with 10 kills and a victory. Game 5. This entire sequence is probably one of the wildest endings I have ever seen in a while. Countdown finish is always where we have a team in the hallway at the bottom waiting to pounce or just getting wiped by a caustic. That was Crazy Raccoon this game. Since it pulls towards the bend where the huge yellow silos are, there is a little more cover, and O2 Esports decides to play middleman up top. Muckawakan allowed them to stay there and set up shop underneath of them. Meanwhile, everyone else had to move towards them and ended up just getting slaughtered by the fact that Muckawakan had bunkered up all the real estate that was available there. Game 6, the final game of the night, or morning for me technically, ended with north of Survey Camp. And Crazy Raccoon, who had been playing the Furious style of racking up kills and ignoring placement, finally said, hey, let's win a game and at least once tonight, and did so just by wiping anyone out in their way at the end. Well, that's it for this week's APAC North recap. Hope you enjoyed, and let me know in the comments below what type of ALGS content you might want to see from me in the near future. Also, the full game VODs are on my other channel, and the link is below. Be sure to subscribe, and keep gaming, friends. Oh, hello there. It's Blue. I'm a terrible dancer, so ignore that version of me on the screen and listen to my voice when I say thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and of course, click on another video of mine. I heard you'll like those over there. They're pretty good.